Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our educational program. Let's just wait for a while to other attendees to join, and we're gonna start soon. Okay, welcome. Okay, I guess we gave enough time for people to join. I've seen plenty of attendees on Facebook as well, so we're going to start. Welcome everyone. We're going to talk today about macronutrients and learn what's your optimal radius for you to start engaging on your health, start improving on your health, and knowing what are the trends, what should I be doing in case you've just started to be health conscious and you want to, improve on your health, on your overall health, or you're a mom, you're a family dad that you want to, provide of certain guidelines to in practice in your home. Okay, so I'll try to guidelines and advices as always, and we're going to start. So let's check what we have over here. I know some of you might think of, okay, I'm liking this talk, but actually no, I want you to check on the images and see the ugly truth about hotcakes. But anyways, this is a weekend treat. We can still have it, but do know that it's not healthy. It's not healthy to give daily to your children's as well some pancakes, because they are high on carbs and high in sugars, because you add them, not only carbs are already sugars, but you still add them some maple syrup or some honey or some other stuff to eat it with. The second image, it's tricky. You might say, okay, 1 glass of wine, that's even good for cardiovascular health. Some pasta with meat, I guess, yeah, we could say so, but I want you to look specifically at this advertising where it's showing, I don't know, for us as doctors, it's funny because people do follow as the marketing tells you to do. If marketing tells you you need to eat this, you eat that. If marketing tells you you need to do that trick, you do it. And our mind, it has somehow the tendency to follow the crowds, to follow what marketing does. That's why marketing is so powerful. But anyways, this food has 2 carbs. You're having pasta and you're having bread. So here it's another example of how unbalanced this plate is. And I want you to look finally at the third picture, where we can see more variety. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that one. I'm even craving for what is it? I think is it either chicken? Yeah, definitely chicken. From away without my specs, it looks like salmon, but no, definitely chicken. It has some vegetables and it has some other thing. It may look, I don't know if it's vegetables or carbs, like some raviolis or something. Anyways, we're going to learn why this plate, it's a balanced plate and it's a good one. It's a good choice. Okay. Just a quick reminder of the macronutrients. I'm not going to stop. If I were face to face, I would ask you here what it's missing from this picture. And I'm hoping that for the people who has seen the previous episodes, the previous programs, can tell me, or if you know it, I feel very, very proud of you. Either I'm doing a great job teaching you, or you already did your homework and you know what's missing here. So this image is partially correct. It's not incorrect because it doesn't shows any like bad information or wrong information, but something is missing, and it's fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are also carbs, so you have to remember this. Whenever we read about diets and they tell us, okay, you need to have 50% carbs, it's not like, oh, you can just have half your plate of bread or pasta or pizza. It's not that. Carbs means that either you have some complex carbs from whole wheat, some other potatoes, bread, and also from fruits and vegetables. Probably, or you should stick to fruits and vegetables first, and then fill the remaining parts with carbs. Okay. Then proteins, we have animal-based and plant-based, and fats. This is some topic that we've been discussing many times. It's just that I don't think we're repeating topics. It's just that on medicine, everything is interconnected and interrelated. So I cannot speak about something without speaking of some other topics. And for some of you who are new on this episode, you might feel lost if I just continue talking about whatever we've discussed before. So this is just a quick reminder. This is actually a good representation of how macronutrients look. Carbs, it's fruits and vegetables and bread, wheat, and all those kinds of foods. We need to see here that they represent here roughly around, I would say, 30% each. If 1 quart, it's 25. It's a little bit of more than 1 quart. So it's about 30% of fruits and vegetables, 30% of pasta and bread. So that makes about 60% of carbs. Then you can see fats and proteins, it's about 15, not 60% like carbs. It's 15 each. That makes another 30. So we have around 90%, and only about 10% of sweets, who is a mix. That's why it's also located next to the fats, because fats include sweet and refined sugars, but fats is also found on dairy products like cheese and milk. But these ones are also, they have some other components that, some other nutrients that we need them. That's why they're separated, but they fall within the category of fats. On your left, you can see our main functions of proteins, fats, and carbs. Here, I'm going to leave you with these slides for you whenever you want to check upon it. I'm not going through all of it. It's kind of boring. I don't want to bore you with all these technical specs, but it's for you to understand a little bit more about carbs, what's inside carbs. We have sugar, we have starch, we have fiber. I bet you didn't know that fiber was carbs, but yeah, they fall within the category of carbs, and they are good because fiber is not easily digested, so it helps you. There's plenty of studies showing the benefits of fiber, diminishing the amounts of cholesterol in your blood levels. There's some studies about fiber showing that it increases your intestinal motility. That's good. There's some other studies that supports digestion. So fiber is really good. We cluster it under carbs. So next time you're looking at your plate, remember that carbs doesn't only mean bread or pasta, okay? Also, take a quick look about starch, as I call it, complex carbs, because they take longer to break down. So that means your process is going to be slower, which is good, because then you avoid the peaks of insulin levels in your pancreas. You avoid peaks of sugar in your or peaks or spikes, if you like to call it that way, of either some enzymes to digest this food, and you avoid peaks of sugar in your blood, which we all know they're not good, okay? So we try to maintain a balance with the starch, which doesn't happen when we have the first ones. When we have pure sugar, foods that are rich on refined sugar, all the processed foods tend to have high amounts of this refined sugar, which is not good. It spikes our sugar levels in our blood, okay? Protein, remember, as I told you, we have plant-based, animal-based. We need protein because the blocks, like we use blocks to build our houses, the blocks for our body are made out of protein. So it's a basic component. It's also a source of energy in extreme situations, but usually it's what we eat from protein. It's used to build these blocks of our body. So it has some amino acids that we cannot make ourselves. So that's why it's so important for you not to miss it. Even if you're vegetarian, there are plenty of options for you to find plant-based protein. And fats, this is also Well, it's a big slide. I'm sorry. I don't like to put so much on my slides. This I'll leave it to you for you to read. It's just that I can't make a slide and just jump. I have like a duty to tell you about fat because it causes so many diseases that I want you to learn. I want you to be a specialist of food choices and food types, learn how to differentiate all of this. So every time I can, even if I could share with you some stories with my friends. I'm always at the gatherings and reunions. I always end up speaking about healthy choices because whenever you're in the hospital, you see so many complications that could have been avoided. It's something crazy because I understand there are some diseases that is just we inherit in our genes, some things that we cannot avoid, they're genetical. We cannot avoid yet because genetics is quite improving our quality of life. But for now, it's just for diagnostics. So I was telling you that in the hospital, when you go into the clinics and you go into medical practice, you see so many diseases that it's just because people don't know about this stuff. I feel obliged to you and to everyone who is in contact with me. Even if it's 5 minutes, I need to give some advices because if I weren't a doctor, I would have appreciated that someone took the liberty of telling me these things and for me just to skip it, okay? So just read about it. Fat, we have good fat and we have bad types of fat. Remember, we also use fat for our healthy skin and hair. Most important, hormone regulation. All hormones in our bodies that have very specific functions are made of fat, of cholesterol. So not all cholesterol is bad. The thing is that our body, it's able to synthesize from the food that we eat. It's able to make its own cholesterol. So what happens if the body is making its own cholesterol and then we provide high amounts of cholesterol, then we get double. And the rest of the cholesterol gets deployed or lays in the arteries and in fat tissue. So that's why it's bad, okay? But I'm just deviating from what we want to talk today, and it's already been about 15 minutes, so we have another 15. What options do I have when I'm talking about micronutrient radios? That was the topic of today, so let's get down to that. We have two methods or two options nowadays. I would say 20 years ago, we didn't have any of these two. We had the food pyramid, and that's probably how we all grew. Because even myself, when I was at school, I learned with the food pyramid, but that's just outdated. It doesn't necessarily reflect the amounts of food that we should consume. So they change it nowadays to my plate, which is more easy for you to see and focus. Okay, I have my plate. How do I choose how much of pasta or rice or how much of meat or beans or protein? How much of fruits and vegetables is enough? So they came with this sketch, quite good, I would say. It helps people to really measure their plates, because what happened with pyramids is that, okay, I know that the sweets are on the top and on the bottom it's fruits and vegetables. But after knowing that, like how do I calculate daily on my plate what to eat? So this kind of represented in a better way. It made some drastic improvement in the mean of the population, because people are now more I cannot say healthy because there's many disasters in life happening, but people are more keen to try and be healthy, try and eat right, try to inform themselves. It's just that for me, it's obvious, it's basic because I'm a doctor, I do this every day. So these topics is like my daily stuff. But imagine if you, after you're an engineer, you're a lawyer, you work at I don't know, at a mining company, anything. Each of you have already like exhausted all of your energy during all your day doing your jobs, and then you need to come back home and read a book to inform yourself about your health or how to be healthy. That honestly is not going to happen. It takes a lot of effort, and honestly, I know it's hard. Everyone needs like to focus on what they're doing. So our job now as healthcare facilitators is to focus on education and to prevent, because that's going to make the scheme, the healthcare scheme actually to work, because we're going to have less admissions at the hospital for things that could have been avoided, and then we're going to have more budget towards prevention. But that's going to take a while, since till we get to that time. So anyways, this is a good representation of how you could eat. This is the traditional method. It's about 90% accurate, but what's interesting here is that lately, with the DNA discovery and all that, genetics has been evolving around, I would say, roughly 20 years. It's not that we've been knowing the DNA for only these 20 years. This was discovered in late 70s, but that was just the DNA. But genetics implies more than knowing about the DNA. So I would say that strong evidence started about year 2000. So let's say 20 years ago, when the human genome discovery was made, then I could say that was the starting point for medicine based on genetics, okay? So this changed completely the game in how we eat, because now every time we have more evidence, more studies relating what types of or what genotypes are linked to obesity, what genotypes are linked to vitamins predispositions, or to bad absorptions of certain specific types of foods. So now, instead of trying to eat with the image representation of my plate, we have something more specific, more personalized, because it's based on your genes. Of course, by giving these advices, it's because there has been a lot of research done where they identify one type of genotype that was in many people with a certain predisposition for X variable, okay? So this help us or increases our chances to be more accurate, because from 90% we move to 99% accurate, and that's only the beginning. We fairly know a few SNPs, a few genotypes, but as time goes by, we know even more, and this gets more precise and more accurate. So this was the conventional approach. I'm not saying it doesn't work, it does. What's important here for you to understand is that both methods work. I, as a physician, as a healthcare facilitator, I need to give you all of the tools available and for you to decide what suits you and what's best for you, okay? I'm just going to lay the options there, and you make your own conclusions about what to take, because they're, of course, they both work, but they have different accuracy or efficiency radius. Okay, so this is the conventional approach. You have to focus on fruits and vegetables, half your plate, then have some grains. Ideally, if they're whole grains, because as I told you, this is the starch that I told you, it takes longer to digest. And if you also add fiber on it, and then protein, right? And the DNA-based approach is the one that is revolutionizing this tendency or this way of seeing how we decided on our health, on our nutrition. Okay, so whenever you get a genetic profile, it brings you more clarity into knowing what's right for you and what's not, whether you may get some allergies or not. Maybe you have some predisposition for bad absorbance of certain vitamins and minerals, so you might as well change that. All of this comes in like all together, all combined. Okay, it's not like, okay, I just want to know how much of carbs I can eat. I'm gonna pay just that part, or I want to know it. Like I told you, in medicine, everything is a whole. If you want to change in your lifestyle, you need to change as a whole. You cannot just do one thing or the other. I remember I was telling you, it's not about just having the right amounts of food or the right type of food. It's not about just going 24/7 to the gym, because we need a balance. Okay, so it involves your stress level, so you have to be in a work environment that it's nice for you, that you feel comfortable. You need to have some social interactions for your body also to be, you know, in a good mood, in a good state of mind. You need to do exercise regularly and approach your nutrition in a better way. Okay, so whenever you do all of this combined, you get the outcome that it's your health. Okay, and the reason we are focusing on this is, as I told you before, you're busy doing whatever your work is. I'm guessing that you know, I've spoken with a lot of my friends with different professions, and I feel, I don't know, I am surprised, because sometimes their works is also so hectic, so exhausting, that I understand why when it's 5 o'clock, they don't want to know anything else and just go to their homes. Okay, because they're too stressed, they're too tired. Not to say they're not going to, they just want to go back home and relax and have something to eat. So what we're doing with this prevention in medicine, trying to give you your genetic profile, is for you to chop that information down and just give it to you very easy to understand, for you not to have to pay any more attention. Leave the details to us. Know that our company has a lot of research that it's based for this, a lot of evidence for us to make these reports. So leave all that to us. We can do the dirty work. Go out, read all of the studies, all the evidence, and pick whatever is best from the literature, make a nice arrangement, and give it to you. So that way, you don't have to invest so much of your precious time and just get like more benefit from your health. Okay. To finalize, some tips worth knowing: be conscious and picky when it comes to buying food. Don't buy what's cheap. I'm not saying you spend lavishly on food. Not necessarily the most expensive food is the one that is healthier, and not necessarily the other way around. Okay, so just be picky. try to go to the grocery, pay attention to what you're buying. I bet if you have a Mercedes, you wouldn't go to any gas station, or you wouldn't put any type of gas into your Mercedes, because it costs you so much of money that you want to take care like it's a precious. Okay, so your body, it's the same, and I would say it's 1,000,000 times more important than a car. So think of this. If you do for a car that it's something material, if you do take care and improve and you know, like, read about it to only use like a specific components for your car, then do as well for your body. Your body, it's your instrument for going to work, your instrument for life. So take care of it. Buy fresh food. I know sometimes it can be hard, but try to go twice or thrice a week to the groceries. Just buy whatever it's fresh, and of course, whatever it's affordable to your pocket. Not necessarily it means that to eat healthy, you need to buy organic. I'm not saying that. If it's within your possibilities, then it's fine, go for it. But just be picky and conscious on what you're buying. Don't go grocery shopping when hungry, because chances are you're going to buy everything but healthy. Healthy food comes in natural packaging without the need of fancy covers or advertising, okay? And remember about the refined sugars, and you need to go for whole grains, okay? Thank you very much. Let's just see if you guys have some questions. Let's check on here. Chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, Raman from Bangalore. I think I'm going to be in India in next month, precisely in Bangalore. Well, if you guys have don't have any questions, I'm going to end this here. I just need to check on Facebook if someone is asking. Hello, Ashok. Bob Bearden, yes, this is WGN. This is our educational program, trying to stay healthy, to stay lean, and to learn a little bit more about genetics, about how to eat better, and of course, to give you more information for you to know what our products offer, okay? So hello to those in Maryland, to all of those in Singapore. As always, missing Singapore, but very humid over there, so I'm fine here, I guess. Thanks for watching, and see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.